I'm down $40,000 at the lodge this trip. Today's my last session. If I don't win, I'm going to lose my mind.
From the Lodge Mahal in beautiful Austin, Texas, Corey Eyring is back.
All right. We start off with $2,000, and early on we pick up ace-3 of hearts. I open to $75. Jaywin puts in a re-raise to $250. Dino calls, Scuba calls, and action's back on me. I think this hand functions pretty well as a fold or an all-in. And I think that you consider, you know where this is going. I put all the chips in the middle. Come on, who are we talking about? Jaywin goes, shit. I was not expecting that. He ends up folding. Dino's like, shit, I fold. Then Scuba goes, shakes his head, goes to fold, I think, then sticks his chips in the middle. That's horrific news for me. With over $4,000 in the middle, we need some help. The flop, okay, we can improve to a straight. We pick up flush draw. A heart one time. Okay, Jack, chop it up. We both win $270. Quite the anticlimactic sweat.
This is your last chance. I'm staking on you $10,000 to play high-stakes poker with me. Flight and hotel covered. If you want this opportunity, click the link in the description. The winner is determined in 3 days. I also don't want everyone else to get nothing, so I'm going to give 25 random people $100 each as well. Enjoy.
His next spot, Tito raises the $75. This time I pick up ace-jack and raise to $225. Action folds to T1000. Who doesn't think that's enough. He puts in another raise to $675. Scuba makes the call, and action folds back to me. I think folding here is best, but God knows what Scuba has, and T1000 could be getting out of line because him and I have some history. Let's be honest, this would make great TV. I'm just gonna do what I do best. Corey, all in Eyring. 6 hands into the stream. All of our chips are in the middle. T1000 snap calls. Scuba snap calls. We're going 3 ways all in. There's $7,000 in the middle. And okay, D1000 and I have the same exact hand. That is horrible. Pocket fours is out ahead. We are running it once. The flop is dust. So is the turn. And this time we can't improve. So early on, we are down $2,000. We're going to need to bounce back. In this hand, there's a bunch of limps to me, and I look down at ace-9 of hearts. There's an interesting dynamic here as we are playing the fire truck game. If someone wins 3 hands in a row, they get a bounty. So we are all playing protection as someone has 2 trucks. Anyways, we go infinite ways to a flop of 2 hearts. I have 4 hearts. I have the nut flush. That's good enough for me. When someone bets 300 and there's a call, listen, I'm really not beating the allegations this stream. I'm all in once again. This time, Dino snap calls. Scuba ends up folding. Dino has 2 pair. That is a disastrous situation for me. We're going to need to get lucky. The turn card eliminates all doubt. That sucks. The river is just insult to injury. We actually get there, but full house over the nut flush. Could say it's a cooler. It is kind of a cooler. That's the definition of a cooler. 2 strong hands just colliding. I didn't punt to this one. I just ran into a pretty strong hand. Whatever, who gives a shit? Scuba raises to $50. I make the call. Jaywin calls, and T1000 completes in the straddle. So the 4 of us go to a flop of 7 high. Action checks to Scuba, who continues for $250. It's a very large size. I'm already kind of spooked, but we flop top pair, so I'm not folding yet. Jaywin calls, and T1000 folds. The 3 of us go off to a turn, which is the Queen of Diamonds. Downgrades our hand quite a bit. Now we lose to a bunch of stuff. Action checks to Scuba once more, who now places a bet for $550. Again, I don't love it, but we have a pretty strong hand, all things considered. So I call once more. This time Jaywin folds, and the river is an offsuit 3. Shouldn't change much. I check, and this time Scuba gives up. He checks it back, and we take this one down. At this point in the night, we are down $5,500. I haven't done anything, I think, too absurd this stream, but yeah, not exactly winning the ones we need to. In this hand, we go 4 ways to a flop in a limped pot with, holy shit, we flop the nuts. That's good news. I check, hoping to God someone places a bet. T1000 throws out $150. Cinnabon calls, and action's back on us. I have the best possible hand on this board, but we are susceptible to quite a lot of runouts. Flush draws, sets, 2 pairs, straight draws like 10-9. Let's just pump more money in the middle. I make it 700. T1000 calls, and Cinnamon does as well. So the 3 of us go off to a turn, which is the 9 of clubs. We now lose to Jack 10, but if someone has that hand, like Jack 10 of hearts, so help me God, you got my money. I continue betting for the only size I think that makes sense. I'm really not beating the allegations. I'm all in for the 4th time this stream in 47 hands. Basically, once in orbit, all my chips are in the middle of the felt. T1000's like, he's in a pretty miserable spot. He has an 8. Could still be ahead of flush draws, so I don't really blame him for thinking. But he eventually lets it go. Cinnabon is in a world of pain. He has an open-ended straight draw and a flush draw. He ends up shrugging, saying, what the fuck? He ends up calling. We are a favorite, but we are susceptible to quite a lot of runouts. I'm down piles. It's a $10,000 pot. I want to run it once. If we win this, we're
basically even.
No. Jack of hearts. Wham. Push all my chips over to Cinnabon. I'm not happy. In this hand, Cinnabon limps for $25. I call with ace-3 offsuit. J-Win calls, and T1000 bumps it up to $200. Scuba calls, Cinnabon calls, and action's back on me. I decide to raise it up to $1,200. T1000 has pocket queens. That is a horrible situation for me, but him and I have some history, like I mentioned before. So when he puts in another raise to $2,400, I'm having trouble buying it. It's the same opponent who has raised me with 5 deuce of clubs and humiliated me on national television for an entire year. So forgive me for having trust issues. I do something that I really am not proud of. I announce once again, you know it's coming. I'm all in. T1000 snap calls, and we are a massive dog. We need to find an ace, or else we are losing a $10,000 pot. We decide to run it once. The flop does not help. If we do not find an ace, we are going to be down $15,000. We are down to our last card, and it does not come on the river. I am tilted out of my mind. I'm down over $50,000. And yeah, this might be the end of my career as I know it. Nearly all the money that I've been up in the past month, I've lost. Instead of continuing to bleed out, I just reload for $2,000. I'm going to cut my losses and just short buy the rest of the stream. That's when I look down at pocket queens. Once again, I limp in for $50 because the progressive bounty is on. It changes the style of game entirely. We end up going 4 ways in basically a limped pot to a flop of 7-5-4. Action checks to me, and I bet $200. Tito and Dino call, so the 3 of us go off to a turn, which is the 9 of hearts. We're losing to some 2 pairs sets, but other than that, I see no reason not to keep betting. I just bet $400. Dino calls. This time Tito folds, and the river is the Jack of hearts. I just go all in, and he quickly folds. We win a small pot, but we are still down piles. We're going to need some help if we want to get even. Moving along, Scuba limps for $50, and I raise King 10 offsuit to $300. T1000 makes the call, and Scuba does as well. 3 of us go off to a flop of King 8-5 with 2 spades, and I continue for a bet of $500. T1000 calls, and Scuba does as well. The 3 of us see a turn card of the Jack of diamonds. Oh my goodness, I'm starting to see why my reputation may precede me. I am all in again. I'm going to charge the flush draws, I'm going to charge the straight draws. If you want to see a river, it's not going to be cheaply. T1000 is in another miserable spot as he has the nut flush draw. He thinks about it for quite a while before just begrudgingly making a laydown. I like the fold. It's a good one. Scuba shrugs his head, and he lets it go as well. We actually sweat the river, which would have given Scuba a straight. The deck is setting me up at every single possible angle, dude. We can't win a hand. The only way we can win is by making people fold. We scoop in a nice little pot, but I'm furious to know that we would have lost. At this point, we are still the big loser, down nearly 13,000. But this is, I don't know, let's cue some Rocky music, see if we can turn this goddamn ship around. We pick up The Jays. Pocket jiggities, hooks, trouble, what I like to call them. Tito raises to $75. I make the call, hoping that if someone puts in a raise behind me, that we can pounce with more aggression. T1000 makes the call, and Scuba does as well. Our plan backfires, as we're now going 4 ways to a flop of 10-3-3 with 2 spades. Action checks to me. I place a bet for 200. Only Scuba makes the call, and the turn card is the ace of diamonds. I continue betting for value. I toss out $500, and once again, Scuba makes the call. The river card is the worst in the deck. It's another 10, so now we're losing to a 10. I don't think a flush draw is going to call a bet, so when he checks, I just snap check it back, and I'm like really shocked to see that we lose to 8-3 offsuit. Really another annoying hand, but no one to blame but myself. I tried to get cute pre-flop, but it ends up biting us. We're back down around 15,000 as I pick up pocket kings. Hendog raises to $75, and I'm not playing it cute this time. I put in another raise to $225. Dino calls, Scuba calls, and Hendog calls. So once again, 4 ways to a flop of Jack 10 deuce. Scuba decides to lead for $300. Hendog folds, and I'm not playing this cute. There's so many draws out there. We're not deep enough to be concerned with sets. If someone has 2 pair or set, so help me God, I'm not folding. I decide to raise to $700. Dino announces all in for over $2,500. Scuba folds, and I make the call. Turns out we're up against a straight flush draw. We need to fade an ace, a diamond, and a whole lot more when the turn is the 8 of clubs. Now any 9 will give him a straight. We have to fade half the deck. We're running at one time. I'm so certain we're losing this hand. Until the river's the 3 of clubs. I'm shocked that we can actually win one. This is a foreign feeling. I've been literally getting beaten up. I'm like an abused puppy in a kennel. I got left by the previous owners, and I'm trying to find a forever home. We're down catastrophic. We're trying to make a comeback. We're starting to pick up some great hands as I look down at pocket 9s. Tito raises to $125. I make the call. Now Jaywin puts in another raise to $1,100. This is the progressive bounty game. Jaywin has 2 fire trucks. So if he wins this next hand, everyone at the table owes him $200. T1000 looks down to the suited ace, and he decides to raise again to $4,000. Action's now on me, and what the hell do you do here? I think T1000 is more than capable of identifying the situation. Obviously, we could be behind pocket 10s or flipping against 2 overcards, but we could even be ahead of a lot of hands, like pocket 8s or ace 4, ace 5, stuff like that. It's not an easy spot. It's very uncomfortable, but I eventually decide that my hand is too strong to fold, so cue the damn music. Peanut Gallery assemble. I'm all in. Corey all in Eyring for the 9 millionth time. Jaywin folds, and T1000's priced in. He can never fold, so he calls. Just like that, we're playing a $14,000 pot. This time, we are the massive favorite against ace 7 of diamonds. This time, we're running the board twice. Can we hold? If we win this, we will be very close to even. But he flops the nut flush. Completely flops me dead. We have straight flush chop outs. We can't win this board. And the turn card, we're drawing dead. No ace has been used up either. I'm shaking my head. I'm in shambles. I am for sure ready to lose it all. I just start shipping all my money to the middle, and I'm ready to be down $55,000. The flop is clean. The turn card gives him even more outs. Any 4 or ace will put us in a coffin, and thankfully the river is a brick. We chop the pot. We win $600 in the hand, but we are fighting for every inch today. We're just not running great, to be honest. I think the only misstep I've made so far is with ace 3 offsuit. But yeah, a really frustrating day once again. I mean, it's just hasn't been a good weekend for me. The last hand of the stream, Hendog raises to $175. Tito re-raises to $400. And I pick up pocket kings once more in the big blind. I make it $1,400 to go. Hendog folds, but Tito makes the call. We go heads up to a flop, which I hate to see. It is ace 3 deuce. I decide to continue for a small size of 300, and Tito makes the call. The turn card is another deuce. The graphics are actually wrong. And now I decide to check. I think it's pretty impossible to get value from worse. Tito throws out a bet of $1,000. I mean, I don't love this spot at all, but our hand is too strong to fold, so I make the call. And the river card is another ace. It's actually a good card for me because it makes it less likely he has an ace himself, makes it more likely he's holding a bluff. So I check, hoping it goes check, but unfortunately it does not. Tito bets $1,300. I just shake my head. I don't love the situation at all because he's repping a full house, but I can't fold. So I begrudgingly make the call, and I'm very thankful to see that we win. So we drag in a nearly $10,000 pot to end the night, and we're nearly back.
Corey made a great comeback. At one time, he was down over $15,000. He loses $4,900.
We're down $5,000, which honestly feels like a win.
If you want the free roll, click the link in the description. I started this before I lost 50 G's, so hopefully you do better than me. You won't do worse than I have this week, that's for sure. Good luck.